Hello, welcome back. Last time I had a real satisfying precision food scale puzzle showing me that sometimes when it looks like my code's not going to fit, the right thing to do is just to keep hammering on it and keep trying and trying to fit it. Because sometimes it will. Sometimes I don't need to add another microcontroller. I didn't manage to hit this most common power usage spike, but I guess I'm fine with this. Man, so pretty quickly, when this game got hard, I went from being unsatisfied with, hitting the common solution to just being satisfied with being a little worse than the common solution. It's fine. I know how to interact with this game. What is this? Anyone ever heard of the PGA 33X6? A pushy stall vendor nearly stuffed these in my pockets as I was walking through Hwacheongbei last night. No idea what he was saying. Have some naff undocumented chips, I suppose. Well, I guess we have a bunch of them now, if anyone can figure out how to make use of it. That's the gate array. GA, yep. The one with its instructions in Chinese. So yeah. Naff means something like underwhelming, I think? I don't speak British, I speak American. I went too far. This would be in parts data sheets. Or would it be in... It's in here somewhere. I guess it is past where I scrolled. Wait. MC4010, math coprocessor. Oh, this is prototype only, though. Yeah, that's right. Ooh, cool. Okay, so this is something I might be able to use for the game I'm supposed to be writing someday. Have some vague ideas about that, but I'm not ready. Yeah, okay. PGA 33X6 thingy. All right. Cryptocurrency deposit terminal. We've partnered with a major financial services company to create a cryptocurrency deposit terminal for people concerned about turbulence in the financial system. It should do especially well in regions where people are worried their government-issued currencies may be devalued soon. Okay, right, I get it. The terminal reads an account number from a cheap magnetic stripe card, accepts a cash deposit, and sends the information to the bank over the internet. Because nearly all of the money is flowing in a single direction, we just need to have it handle deposits. Alright, so no withdrawals. Fine. Put your money here and it'll be real safe. What, you want it back? No, we keep it safe for you. You don't want it back. Card reader, cash 20, cash 50, cash 100. Okay, so it's this again. Network, card reader, non-blocking express input, magnetic card reader. Cash, simple inputs connected to mechanisms that accepts 20, 50, and 100 yuan bills. Network interface. 8-digit data packet from card reader. Oh boy! Okay, so I'm gonna just go ahead and do this right now. Maybe I shouldn't. All the times I've done that so hastily, it seemed, in hindsight, like a bad idea. Let's not do that so quick. I probably will need to do that though, but let's read the rest of the instructions. The user then inserts money as indicated by the cash signals. The user finalizes a transaction by ejecting their account card, indicated by a value of -1 for the card reader. Okay. It's non-blocking though. That's fine. When a transaction is finished, the 8-digit account number and the total amount of the deposit should be transmitted over the network to the bank. Okay, card reader. 00074395. -999 at other times. -1 when card removed or whatever. Yeah, when card removed. 00074395 270. Okay, got it. So count up for those. Okay, so I'm going to take some recommendations that I got and interface with this in a certain way that assumes these will never overlap because the test data never has them doing it. I will make the assumption that the hardware into which the cache is inserted itself has protection from these sending their data at the same time. That is an assumption that these electronics make. Hey, check it out! Logic gates! Logic gates recommended. Even this one. Okay, so finally I'm encouraged to use these. Why though? How would a logic gate help me here? It seems like I want the DX300. Maybe Carl's... Maybe reading this changed the recommendation. So when I go to an already completed thing, it changes that. If I make a new one... Well, I don't know if that was true before. But yeah, I think reading this email changed the recommendation of that, because I don't see an obvious case for logic gates in this specific puzzle. Because yeah, I don't need to have any, like... I don't need to know, like, if this or this is activated. It's just one at a time. Although... then again... No, I can see how that might be useful for power efficiency, which is not what I'm going for right now. Okay, so, I do have to hang on to all these numbers for a while. They have to be read all at once, and then spit back out at the end, so this is, like, the most natural case for that. With the DX300 in here interfacing with these, everything is now X-bus. Okay, let's start with one of these. Let's see how far I can get with it. Why am I doing... This is silly. That's what I'm doing, though. Yep, so that's not enough input lines. Of course it's not. Okay, so... Let's do some coin counting first. I know they're not coins, but whatever. Pretend they are. At all times, this should just be counting cash coming in. I guess if I can fit an extra SLX in, it could wait for this to tell... Well, no. No, at all times, this should be just be monitoring cash coming in. So if I just, like... Tech X1 001 add 20. No, it's upside. Wait, hang on. It's always bottom to top, right? So that's 100. Like, this doesn't just literally flip around like that, does it? I don't know, it might. Oh, well, okay, so for one thing, I didn't do this. Hey? Cache 100 is active. Wait, it got one? Right, it got one when 20 was inserted, didn't it? Okay, so it does flip itself around. I mean, of course it does. You can't horizontally mirror a physical component. P0, P1, P2. Yeah, okay, there we go. P0, P1, P2. Okay. So 001 is the 20. Tech X1 010. Add 50. Tech X1 100. And then how do I communicate that? By having more instruction space for one thing. Do I want to communicate with you by means of a simple pin, or what? How will I request that you write your value to me? I can't do an SLX because this needs to keep on happening. So I need to, if I'm polling on this... Hold on a second. Tell me one more time about logic gates. The ones that are in English. Oh, check it out, I can do this. LC70G. Yeah, okay, it's all simple. So no X bus there. Actually, yeah, okay, so... So here's how this makes sense. Let's just go down this line of thinking, just in case I decide I do want to do this. So if I do... This is the AND gate, this is the OR gate. What is each... 32. The 32... 0001... 11... or XOR... Which is the OR pin? Output normal, output inverted, input A, input... Wait, yeah, right, so that's the XOR. So normal output is here. I would need two of them, of course. Right, just want to finish this line of thinking. I need, wires are kind of awkward here. What I'm thinking is I can have these logic gates. Oh, I see how these are good for power usage, because they won't use any, right? So output of that OR gate goes to here. So basically this wire will light up if there's anything ever to read. In one pole operation, I could have like this listening to this wire to see if any cache has come in. If it has, then this can wake that up. So that could sit there with an SLX before it pulls all three of these. I still would need to make this sort of thing happen somehow with all three of those. So yeah, I get a complicated wire nest there. I don't think this is how I want to do this because that's just a power efficiency thing. It won't actually save me any lines of code, I think. However, this does mean I still have this conceptual problem here of... Well, I mean, I don't really, right? If I just use one of these, then I have simple pins that can... I think that's fine. Oh boy, I can't get this through here. Not without a pin type mismatch or being unable to wire to any of those. Okay, so that's not useful. Alright, so it'll be P1 then. I don't know, just kind of speculating about like how I might set this up right now. Bridge. Go there. I don't know why I'm spacing this apart so far. So, well, yes I do. So this would look like that. That's fine. Yeah, I already don't like this. Oh, this is awful. Ew. Yeah, I don't like this. Okay, so let me come up with an overall plan for what I'm doing. Rather than just like putting things there and hoping maybe I can get something to happen. Alright, so what are my tasks? Count incoming money. Report amount of incoming money to the one who needs to know about it. Why can I drag this far, but then I have to press tab to drag that far? That's so weird. I mean, I guess I can make this look nicer, like yeah, sure, that makes sense. There. Technically it wastes space, but it looks nicer. Can't do the same thing up there. Okay, so hang on. Tasks. What am I doing with this thing? Count incoming money. Report incoming money when requested, I guess. Store incoming card numbers. Detect card removal. Report stored numbers and accumulated money and reset money to 0. So those are my tasks. There's never any money inserted between a -1 and a card here, right? I'll just add that to the money value of next time the card is used, which makes sense, right? I think so. Rather than having it just disappear. Okay, so this is non-blocking, so I have to pull. And also, I need to potentially store the first value coming in, so yeah, I'm going to work on this part of the program for a bit, and when I need the money value, maybe it'll make more sense as to like how I want to get it. Because I don't have a plan for that yet. I was going to have this simple pin set to something, so that this could report it to X1, I guess. Which would be fine. It's kind of timing sensitive, but like if I'm doing all these tasks, if in fewer than 6 instructions this one can set the pin to what it needs to be for this to report its value, then okay, sure. Tech P0 100, sure. Plus move AC X1 move 0 AC, sure. Okay, so that would be your program. Alright, so move X1 AC, tech, AC, -1. Yeah, so I want to get to this quickly. Move 100, P1. Otherwise, reset P1 to 0, because I don't want you reporting and resetting your money at any other time. Okay, so I set the state of P1 very early in your cycle. So right, that's after the sleep. Move X1 AC. Actually, I have the time to do this. Two things independently polling. I don't like it. But I guess that's how it's going to be. I don't have enough instructions here to do everything, I'm sure. There's no way. Let's see how far I can get first, though. So If it's not negative 999, and it's not negative 1... Actually, I see a way I can do better than this. If it's a negative number... If it's not a negative number... If it's not a negative number, then I want to... Okay, so if it's not a negative number, yeah, I need another conditional there. I feel like what I want to do, if I detect this happening, is to fire off an event to another microcontroller which will actually read the card number and store it in here. Because you won't have the room to do that yourself. And also, I have, like, instruction enable states that need to stay the way they are. However, I/O pins, well, I can spare that one because you won't mess with the... Actually, I can spare both of those. Great. Okay, this is fine, actually, so check this out. What's this X3 doing? Nothing, really. Yeah, you were never going to do that, right? Probably. Okay, yes. This is the controller that manages storage of the card number. It will also do the I/O with the network, not you. Why would you do that? That doesn't make sense. You're just the coin counter. Okay, I hate this wiring. I'm redoing all of it. Everything disconnects. Nope, nope, everything disconnects. Okay, so we got our coin counter here. P0 does indeed need to be connected to a simple pin on this. That's the closest one. There. Okay, that's nice and compact. If you are greater than -1, this has just come in. So you move ACK to X2, which is connected to this, who is sleeping on X1. If it's not -1, then you write that there. Oh, you don't have enough. Oh, you don't have enough. Oh boy. Always so short on pins and stuff. Always so short on pins and stuff. Let's just assume, oops, right away that I need one of these. Okay. Yeah, so it kind of makes a lot of sense to go ahead and just write my program in the big ones of these, and if it's small enough I can compact it. But that's easier than going straight to the small one unless I'm real sure that's what I want. Okay, So I'm jumping around a lot. Let's stick to one task. Detecting that the card has been inserted and writing the card number to this. TGT AC -1. If true, move AC X2. Then I want this to also be Y. Okay, so everything's going to have to move over and down a bit, I think, because this wire needs to somehow get here, because I don't want you to move 7 numbers to this. I want you to save your instructions for other things. You move the first one, then this thing instead reads the rest. To do that, those need to be connected. To do that, this needs to get out of the way. To do that might be hard. How will that get out of the way? One way is if this could be MC4000X, which maybe with how much I've minimized all this it could be. But let's assume for now it's not. And see if there's a physical way to route this that would work with that constraint. Not this one. This would have to come all the way over there to go down by 1. Which, I mean, I can have P0 connected here. That's fine. That goes through. If you never touch P0, that's totally okay. Alright, sure. So this becomes X0. This also connects up here. X2 becomes X3. P1 then can be the one that talks to this. What about X2 then? I'm not using X2. Am I? I might be. Wow, I hate this. Oh. Not happy with what I'm doing here. Also, my P0 is now impossible. Can it be P1 instead? There's Why would I do that? This is gross. I don't like it. Remind me why I'm doing... Okay, so the point of this routing is so that I can have this thing polling for the card reader. I read one value. You have a lot of other jobs, though. So I just want to tell this that, hey, I got a card number. I'm going to want you to write that to your storage. And this can just slurp up the entire thing from that without having to be told it by this, wasting all of these instructions on moving that through there. Then again, maybe I should just do that. I don't know. But I'm going to try it this way. The way my intuition says is going to work with the rest of what my intuition says. Just shh. Let's see how it goes. Move AC X3. And then nothing else really happens. Here you just jump to wait. Okay. Tech AC -1. So that would mean this is... It's the end of a transaction, so I need to tell you... Aha! I don't need this pin. You can do the simple pin thing to here. Can you? Will that be quick enough? Maybe. Probably. I suspect so. Alright, fine. Why would I do that? Why would I do any of this? Ah. Pin is not connected. No, it's not. It's P1 now. Move AC X... no, you need this. Oh, that's a simple, okay. Yeah, you're out of I/O ports. Fantastic. Always out of ports. Yeah, it's really more the X-Bus ports that I'm limited by more often than not than the instruction space. Like, that's very limiting too, but the ports are more so. I have 2 people with a connection to card reader and also with a connection to each other, taking half of the I/O space of this already. X1 is unoccupied for now. I'm doing too many tasks at once because I can't stick to one because everything is intertwined. As soon as I start making a change in one place, it affects everything else. So I kind of have to do it this way, just little iterations. When I make one change, make sure the rest of my puzzle works with it. Okay, so... X1, X2... Here's what I should do. Let's just say read. Yeah, read can be there. So read means move how many? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I want 7 more. TGT AC 0 sub 1 move move X0 X2 jump loop. Okay, so that's my read loop. You don't have enough instruction space. Probably going to need another microcontroller. Well, look at all this horizontal space I'm given. This is expected to have a bunch of controllers in it, and that's fine. Also, I really should, when I'm done here, reset the address to 0 so that I can rewrite that. Is there another command you need to get? Probably. Like if I'm having you write to the network, no, that's impossible. Your I/O space is already used. Somebody else is going to read this and write it out there. So you're done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Of course it's 10. Oh, no it's not, because I can do this. No, I can't. Never mind. Wait, what? Why am I testing for -1? No, if I only poke you to... Okay, yeah, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. This makes more sense. I can do that, and then this. Oops. This. Alright, so your sole purpose is to stick a card number in here. So you SLX X1. I'm not going to send -1s to you. I'm going to just send the first card number, then you slurp up the rest from there. Okay? Great. Yeah, so I'm moving the loop that reads this and writes it there out of this controller to this one. So SLX X1, move 7 AC, loop, TGT AC 0. Oh, you still need move X1, X2. So the first number goes in. Then 7 more numbers get read. Okay. Sounds fine. So that should do its job just fine. And I do write a 0 back to this address pointer. Uh-huh. Great. Okay. So you should do your job. TGT ACK -1 plus move ACK x3 plus jump weight. Sounds fine. If it is -1, then I need to tell somebody to read the accumulated money. So let's go back to this simple IO thing, because I think I can still do that and be okay with it. If I rearrange this slightly. That won't work. If I want x2 to be able to escape these confines, I can't chain bridges like that. Well, I can if I split this out horizontally a little bit. Nope, nope. Oh! Okay, so to get x2 out, but also route p1 here, what will that take? I'll have to go around the DX300, which has to be there. This has to go under a bridge. Hold on, wait, no, why am I... No, wait, okay, so... I'm actually not immediately sure this is topologically possible. With the maximum horizontal space, which is not that, that's already impossible because I need to access the data pin over here, not the address. Probably the address pin, yeah. I do need both of those. But that's still possible because I can do this. Okay. Yeah, alright. So gotta solve some topology here before I can do anything else. All the tasks this game asks me to do. Here we go. This looks plausible. I mean, that part's no good. But I'm getting somewhere with this, maybe. Almost. Now I have to have this wire cross that somehow. How will that happen? With the X2 also in there. If I could just have a slightly wider bridge, it would help, but I can't. Oh, now I have that amount of space there for that. Okay, that's a problem. I'd be better off going for P1. Because I do actually have the space to do that. So if I go for P1, X1... Oh, was that all? Oh, that might have been all. Oh, okay. There we go. And I can compact that slightly more. So the topology is resolvable, right? P1 connects to this P1, X2 connects to this X0, X1 connects to that. Okay, yeah, just going for this P0 was the impossible part. And that is seemingly the minimum space that'll take up. So the farthest left I can move this is here. Farthest left I can move this is here, which is just fine. Okay. Okay, so topology resolved. Now what about the code? Move 100, P1. Tech P1 100. Move AC. Certainly not to X1. Okay, so here's what I actually want to do when that happens. Move X0, X3, move AC X3. Then I have another controller here that does the rest of the stuff. No, it's the other way around. So money value comes in here. It's going to go in your... Oh. Is it? It's going to go in your DAT because you're one of these now. No. You, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's how it is, isn't it? No, but this can... No. I think I understand this. Move AC X3, move 0 AC. Sure. That should work. Tech AC -1. Move... You need the simple pin, so you can't be the small kind of microcontroller. I'm going toward a very suboptimal solution. I'm very aware. I'm already at just anything that works mode here. It's fine. I'll make this work. See, while I can have the intuition about that I'm going toward a suboptimal solution, I don't know the exact thing that I could change to make my solution more optimal. Like, I could analyze every little thing that I'm doing to see if, oh, is this the right thing to do? I don't know. It just doesn't make sense to do that. I just need to find something at all that works. It's going to be suboptimal, just what my intuition says, but sometimes I'm wrong about that. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just want something to work, that's all. People find things to criticize no matter what I do. It's impossible to satisfy everybody. Move 100 P1. So yeah, so once I have the -1, I activate that pin and then I move... Why do I do this? What message would come through here? Nothing, I just set P1 to 100. Oh. Okay, so a weird little nuance here. Okay, I gotta have, That's really strange, but here's what actually has to happen. Since this is a simple pin, that 100 is going to stick around, and it'll need to be reset. What if instead of using the simple pin, I just like reported a status to this every time, so that I'm trying to avoid having this XBus block. And I can do that just by writing a value to here no matter what. Instead of using the simple pin. Because like, I was thinking what I'd have to do is set this to 100 to put you into output mode, then listen to you so that I know when to set that back to 0. But if instead I would just ditch the simple pin and just send you a message every time? If x2 is, sure, 100 is fine. No, let's set it to -1. That's my terminator value. If x2 is -1, then, or x0 is -1, then I report my thing and reset it. Yes. And by reporting that, this will wake up and read the value out of here and write it out. Okay, that makes sense, right? I think so. Sure. Easy wire routing. So in the output loop, I first write the card number, then I write the value that's done. So then I move D1, X2, and I jump loop. When I'm done with that, D1, right, D1, I read this end of the pin, X3, X2, jump loop. Okay, once you're done with that, you need to reset the address pointer to 0. So move 0, X0, then move... You don't even need your DAT. Aha! That means I can do this. So output can fit in that. Neat. SLX X1, move 8 AC. I would like this better. Alright, this is starting to look like a program. I don't love it, but it looks like it's gonna maybe work. Maybe. It's plausible. Move 100 P1, that's not a thing anymore. Instead of that, you move -1 to X2. Otherwise, you move 0 to X2. Now... So here's the thing, though. I have a jump in here. I think here's what's going to happen. This will jump over this next instruction. In idle, I'm going to move 0 to X2. If I've written that -1, then I jump over that to wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is this... Do I think this program's done? Thereby maybe being able to replace it with one of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's right. That was the 10 instruction one. Move X0 AC. TGT AC -1. Move X3. Jump idle. Report that to you. Tech AC -1. Move -1 X2. Jump wait. Sleep 1. Yeah. Okay. For this to make sense, I just need to do this and this. Okay, we're getting somewhere. In fact, I'm not certain that I'm currently missing any pieces of this. AC is 0. It is not -1, so moved AC to X3. So 0 comes out here. You're doing your job. Yep, it's fine. You're waiting for that input. It's fine. Alright, so 0 came in there. It got written. You're idle, so you're going to report a 0 to there, so it does nothing. You are going to read the rest of the card number. So you're sleeping, you're sleeping, you're still sleeping. You write all those until you're done. Okay, great. You wrote the whole card number. Right, and you reset your address pointer. Sure, great. Okay, and restored the card number and nothing else really... Wait, yeah, that's right. And nothing else really happened. Okay, so here comes cash 50. You add 50, great. Okay, cool. Here comes cash 20, you add 20, great. Alright, so input all appears to work. 170, 270, and here's a -1, okay. So -1 happens, you get a -1 here. I just report it and then I'm done, that's all. You report to this. Okay, I got a weird daisy chain, but it's necessary because I have to somehow... This has to know to report its data somehow. And it's not like you have the instruction space to contain this entire program. Okay, I'd believe this. Okay, so you've awoken. I'm going to move 8 digits from here. You're going to sit there writing that until I'm ready to read it. Alright, so there's the first digit, second digit, third, fourth, great. Here's the whole card number. And here's the money value. Okay, sure, here's the address pointer, here's the money value. That was a 0. Okay, just because I wrote the wrong XBus value, but the rest of that was fine. Did it. Okay, got something that works. Alright, that wasn't so bad. I'm okay with that, especially since I was able to replace 3 of the big dudes with the little dudes. Oh! Oh, check it. Okay. My intuition was wrong. I was not suboptimal. This is just a very conventional solution. Fair enough. I'll take it. Alright. Great, I think we can really catch the wave with this one. Cryptocurrencies are really surging in popularity again thanks to recent market fluctuations. It seems even people who used to work primarily with cash are giving up and looking for an easy way to convert their money to digital these days. I wish I had my own currency. It must be nice to use a medium of exchange that you can manipulate anytime you like. No politics, please, Carl. Right, to think I almost forgot. Oh man, Carl has some opinions about things. Right. Alright. So since I'm at the average peak on everything, there's nothing that's particularly obvious to optimize on any axis. So I'd have to pick one specifically and sacrifice others for it. And this power usage is the hardest to get down. Okay, so yeah, everybody had to do this kind of poll thing. I still think I could reduce it a bit with some logic gates and doing only a single controller polling. Like, polling every tick is going to be where a lot of power usage comes from, I imagine. Maybe not, though? Maybe that's actually not as significant as I keep thinking it is. Yeah, so for production cost... That one I'm less sure about, because yeah, that's still the one that I sort of optimize for by default. I don't know about that one. It seems a little trickier to get down at all. Anyway, alright, I'm satisfied with that. So that one's done. I'll see you next time for these.